Hello everyone, my name is Sabby, and I am traveling with my child, Sarah Effexor. Join us as we travel on a cross-country journey through Canada and the US. Please join us as my child and I have the time of our lives in Edmonton, Alberta, before I get stuck again. I left Calgary and headed to Edmonton for a relatively short drive. When I got into Edmonton, I arrived right before the sun was going down. Again, I was looking for a place to park my RV in the dark, and it was a very difficult time. I went to 5 different places to see if I could park my RV overnight, but they all said I could not. They were mainly casinos based on the recommendation of the conservation officer I talked to before, but it was all no good. I was able to ask one place that gave me a lead, and they said I could park at the Costco nearby. It was already closed, so I couldn't ask for permission, but it was getting late, so I kind of just gave up. I parked at the Costco overnight, and it was actually fine. No one questioned it, but I needed to find a new place to go. The next day, my child and I explored the Victoria IceWay Skating Trail. It was really cool seeing people ice skating, and we went on a little walk nearby. We also went to the Alberta Legislative Building, which was holding a children's event at the time. The place was packed and were holding various activities for the kids. I spent the rest of the day trying to find propane, a dump station, and a campsite. Long story short, the first 2 were failures, but I seemed to find a place to camp that I used for the rest of my stay. There's a recreation park near St. Albert in Edmonton called Real Park. I went there, and the recreation park was, of course, closed for the season, but the park area right next to it had a nice parking lot with no one there. So I just parked there for the rest of my trip. And it seemed fine since no one bothered me, but I don't recommend it.
Good morning, my sweet girl. Good morning. You're so beautiful.
On our final day in Edmonton, I went to the gym to work out and take a shower. I normally try to park with my car in view of the gym so I can periodically check on my child. I also kept the heater on since it was so cold, and I kept her sweater on. My sweet girl. We also visited West Edmonton Mall, and that was a lot of fun. Fun fact, Edmonton Mall has the world's largest indoor amusement park called Galaxyland. It was the craziest mall I've ever been to. It had an ice skating rink, a water park, go-kart track, and an amusement park. I walked around the whole place with my child and got a couple of snacks. I have always been a fan of pretzels, so I got some at the mall. I was also playing Pokemon Go since there was a lot of people fighting gyms with me. Yes, I'm a nerd. Edmonton Mall was just a really great place to take a break from the cold air and walk around without my child freezing. There was just so much to explore and see. You can really spend the whole day there entertaining yourself. Apparently there's also a casino, but I could not find the entrance to that. I'm probably just blind. On our journey out of Edmonton, there was one more place I wanted to visit before I moved on to our next destination. I headed to Elk Island National Park. They are known for being one of 2 protected areas for bison to roam free, and you can see them while you explore the park. I was able to see many of them roaming the area, which was so amazing to see after they nearly went extinct in Canada in 1907. It was only $9 Canadian to get an entry pass, but I ended up paying way more than that when I needed to be towed yet again. While trying to avoid the rough path of the road, I drove too close to the plowed snow and got sucked in. While it was quite unfortunate to get stuck when trying to leave the national park, it made me feel more positive about society because everyone that drove by asked if I was okay and if I needed help. One very kind person even drove to the visitor center to get a park ranger to check on me. I did try to dig myself out, but the nice park ranger looked at my situation and kindly recommended a tow truck may be needed. So I called for a tow truck with the company the park ranger recommended, and it took maybe a little over an hour to get pulled out. The tow truck driver was very nice as he pulled me out and made me feel better by saying he got stuck the same way yesterday, and the only way he got out was because he had a winch. It wasn't much longer before I was able to get back on the road, but the delay did make it so that I wasn't going to get to Saskatoon until 11 p.m. at night, which was fine if the weather wasn't going to drop so low that Saskatoon was going to be colder than Antarctica. It was so cold, my propane froze, and since my propane wasn't working, that meant my RV was unlivable. So I had to get a hotel for the night, but I'll get more into that on my next video. I want to thank you all for watching this video. My child and I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please show your support by liking or commenting on this video. If you want to continue to join us on our RV winter adventure, please subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, as I will be uploading every Wednesday and Friday.